Hi, and welcome to Conversations here on NTA. Now, we have so much to bring to you in the next 1 hour. I'll just start by introducing all the ladies in the house. My name is Nike, as always.
And I'm Chinwe. Nice to be here again.
I am Ricky, but always nice coming here.
Zainab Sharif.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
Hi, Zainab. Zainab is our expert today. She's not only a pharmacist, she's also a medicinal plant expert. And from what I hear, Zainab, you have a lot of feathers to your cap. Or will I say to your scarf?
It's always interesting.
Yeah. So our topic today really is about self-care. There are lots of people that go ahead and buy things without consulting a specialist, a medical practitioner. So you're going to give us some ideas on even natural remedies and things that people can do at home when, you know, they're not feeling too good. But before we do that, we'll be taking a feature story right here on Conversations. We'll be right back after this.
The total being called man is a perfect fusion of body, mind, and spirit. For the perfect functionality of all these parts, there has to be a constant check and maintenance. The spirit man feeds from the table of spirituality within the realm of religion. The human mind feeds from the table of knowledge and moral training. The human body, which is the most pronounced, glows from the natural food, fitness, and rest, all spelling care. Very important, however it comes. But the most important care is the self-care, that is, the care one gives to oneself. It begins with our daily routine to the health care we give ourselves. Preventive medicine aligns mostly with self-care. Lack of adherence to medical advice can actually make self-care very difficult. Good self-care is seen as partial solution to global rise in healthcare cost. After all, prevention is always better than cure. A lot of times, most people assume it must cost so much to truly care for oneself well. Conversation believes on the contrary. Very little things around us can be employed to give good and quality care. From how and where we sleep, to what we wear, what we put on our skin, and very paramount, what we ingest as food or drug. Truth is, we are what we eat.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I
Okay, so that is all about self-care, and our expert in the house, Zainab, will be telling us what she thinks natural remedies should be all about. Now, Zainab, some people say, you know, Panadol is somehow natural, but it's not natural. So why don't you tell us really about natural home remedies and what that means to you?
You know, I'm glad we are all women. There's always a gist for us to gist. And in various angles, we want to talk about what we do, what we wear, what we eat. But we are eager to talk about what can we do to manage our skin to look more beautiful, or what can we do to take to help us in managing some small diseases. And we look at it, are we looking at the body care? What do you want to use on your skin, or what do you want to take, basically? And I know the curiosity of us women is that you want to know what can you use on your skin. And out there you go to the market. What do you see in the market? You go to the supermarkets, you have cosmetics of various kinds, and then you have to talk about affordability. Isn't it so, women?
Yes, very true.
Affordability is very important,
Yeah,
isn't
it is, especially
times,
now.
Great. You may tell me that I don't have enough. What can I do? And I still want to get a very good skin. Or you may tell me, what do I do? Is there, I'm sure that's why you want me here. To be able to say, can I give you some secrets of home remedies that you can, that's
I wish I had my...
So how much are you going to pay me for this consultation? There you go. Thank you very much. You see, in the supermarkets, I often go there to look at those basic remedies that are natural and look at the cost. I don't know, are you brand people? Some people brand, you go for all these
big names.
You know what I mean? All the big names. I'm sure some, I know a lot of women specifically go to there and ask for those big names. Hey, that is not all there is about beauty. Beauty can be cost effective, and beauty can be natural, and you still look good. You age gracefully. I often tell women when we are just like this, hey, I'm always asked, what do I need to use? I say, have you seen honey cream in the supermarkets? Have you seen honey soap? The oil of ule of all sorts? Or have you seen the black seed soap? Have you seen the milk soap? Have you seen a combination of, there are some plants that have some extracts that have some degree of lightening effect. Any plant that tends to contain lemon, that has lime, that has honey or milk, you know. There's a process of rice. When you ferment rice, you know, you get some kind of lightening effect. So with that knowledge, you go looking for plants, go looking for creams that have that content. Then you take them, they are natural. You look at the cost. You don't have to go for the big cost. Then you'll be able to save some cost by buying those. And then you look at them.
So Zainab, you're not totally against people going to get these things in the supermarket. I thought you were going to tell us, no, just cut this from the branch and boil it and you'll be absolutely fine.
It's always good to look at both angles because there is a market you must go. Some of us do those businesses. If I say don't go there, then there will be nothing for you to do. But let's go back. Okay, is there another alternative or what I call supportive? What do I do supportive? Okay, come to the home. You ask me, is there anything that we have that we can use to make natural soap? But I always want you to remember that God in his infinite mercy has provided man with things that he needs. Before the creation, what happened? The garden was there, Garden of Eden. Then Adam came and Eve came. Everything was there for them, beautiful to eat and drink. So you look at what are those things there that you can do for soap making, you know, all this. We do have the black soap, which is very unique to us. But all you need to do is to enrich it. How do you enrich it? You come, you buy some kind of camwood. You add camwood, you add honey, you add olive oil, you add coconut oil. That is a kind of what I call a special mixture for your skin. If you have an oily skin, that means more of the coconut oil will go there into the soap to have moisturizing effect. If you have I mean, less of the coconut oil for the oily skin. But if you have for the dry skin. But if you have an oily skin, then less coconut oil. Look for a simple oil that is unsaturated. For example, simple olive oil can do that magic. Or sunflower oil.
Sorry. You mentioned mixture, right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking, how do you know what proportions to use when you're doing these mixtures? For instance, you mentioned the coconut and how do you know what quantity to use that will be adequate for your skin, for instance?
That's a good question. Like I said, we're trying to look at the soap. How do I make soap that is good for my skin? And then it depends on what ingredients. Do you want a rich soap or do you want an ordinary soap? Let's categorize the soap. Say, I want a rich soap. That means you're going to take good natural ingredients that are rich. So let's look at a rich soap. What is the composition like you want to know? Okay, you have the simple black soap. There is the granulated powder of it. You see a lot of women carry it on their head. Do you know these baggy women? These lupe women?
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I see it in the market.
Yes.
I have
so just buy that black. That is a base for you.
Wow. Ah, I see.
And that base is made out of some trees. Sesame seed, cocoa. They burn it and they get the ash. Mix it and there comes the soap. You know, that's what they use mostly for children, babies. Then with that as a base, How do we enrich it? I told you, coconut oil. You can add some lemon. Excellently honey.
What quantities of these
Yes,
things?
depending on the quantity of soap you want to make.
Okay, let's say
Yes.
we want to make a liter.
You want to make soap is in tablet form. You want to make it in tablet form, or you want to make it in a container
what would be the
form.
size?
Yeah.
What would be the
In a
size?
container size. 250 milligrams of grams of soap.
Okay.
Okay.
So the normal bar size. You can say that one tin about, let's look at about 500 grams of the powder. It's very light. Are you getting me? Then you get your lemon juice. You tea 2 tablespoonfuls of the lemon juice. Are you coming on?
Yeah.
Are you getting this?
I'm with you.
Then you can two tablespoonful of pure honey.
Okay.
Is it coming on? That lemon, try and get blend the skin.
The zest.
Yes, the zest.
Lemon zest.
Get 1 tablespoonful of the zest.
Without the juice.
The juice separate.
Separate.
The zest.
The zest.
I'm now looking at a soap that also has some antiseptic properties.
Okay, that's nice.
You getting me?
Yeah.
So you are telling me, what have I told you, the ingredients, so that I know you are following up, you are catching me with this. What have I told you?
500 grams of the granulated,
The granulated.
Yes.
black soap.
Yes.
Then 2 tablespoons of the lemon juice.
Yes.
Then the zest, the
Yes.
bark of the lemon.
She also
add
mentioned
2
coconut oil.
teaspoons,
Yes, I say honey.
honey.
I told you.
as well.
2
Then the
tablespoons
coconut
as well.
oil.
I wish I came with a baron.
Yes, yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Depending on how your skin is. If it is oily skin, you need to reduce the coconut oil.
Okay.
If
You
it
make
is for
adjustments
that
here
one,
and there.
maybe you may just for oily skin, we just take one tablespoonful
Or you use
of the
olive
coconut oil. You can use coconut or olive oil, whatever oil,
Okay.
coconut or olive oil. Let's look at something that we can afford. Coconut oil is
Yes,
always
yes,
available.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So
Yes.
you can take 1 tablespoonful for the oily skin, and then 2 tablespoonful for over dry skin.
Over dry skin.
Okay.
Then a touch of ginger powder.
Okay. What
you
does
getting-
ginger do?
Yeah,
In the soap.
antiseptic.
Antiseptic.
Oh.
Stimulates
Paprika
the
powder.
circulation.
Ah.
As you are washing the soap, you need the soap to clean even as much of the skin as possible.
As
The
possible.
dead
Ginger is like a catalyst. Let me
Okay.
use the
Really?
word. So I know a lot of people don't know that ginger has such a role. You think it's only the kitchen spice I used to cook?
I
It
have a
does well.
question though.
Okay.
It's about turmeric. I know, like maybe 2 years ago, you couldn't really find it in the market, but now every
all over the
other,
place.
every other corner you see that being sold. I mean, what are the health benefits for people who haven't even heard about it? Could you tell us a little bit
Especially
about
on the
turmeric?
skin.
Yeah,
You know, you
especially
ladies,
on
I
the
just laugh because you know why I laugh? These are things I've spoken about 10 years ago.
skin. Really?
The same conversation, or when I was running my program, Nature's Pharmacy. I called turmeric, people would say, what is this strange? Then really they were not grown.
Yeah.
But with the awareness and knowledge, I was impressed to see that there's a lot of turmeric in Kaduna State. The reddish color is similar to ginger.
Okay.
They are all the same family. But turmeric is a powerful antioxidant. The color is excellent. There is an ingredient they extract from turmeric called cocomycin. It's excellent for the skin. It's also lightening. You can also add it, a tablespoon of the turmeric powder, to that your soap. Especially when you want to make a facial scrub.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes. Yeah.
Specifically for you can add it to the face.
Exfoliation.
And then we
Interesting.
didn't talk about the camwood. Did you do osu? Osu, they call it the red one, the reddish one. So you need to add camwood. Are you seeing how rich your soap is becoming?
Yes.
Personal rich soap, which you can get
Seriously,
very good,
personal.
good effect on the skin, naturally enhance your skin. So turmeric also, we have turmeric tea. We take it as tea.
Yes.
We mix it in, like I said, beauty products. And it's specifically good even in the management of some diseases that need antioxidants.
Okay.
That means cancer also. There's turmeric tablets, there's turmeric capsules. It's all over now, nationally and internationally.
Yeah.
My
there's
And then in
Does it-
spice, a lot of in spice.
Can you in
can
any
add.
way add garlic powder to it?
In the skin soap, except if there is special skin infection,
Okay.
then you can now add garlic.
Okay.
Some quantity of garlic. If you have some kind of skin infections,
Okay.
then you can now put the garlic to be able to kill that infection.
Okay.
So it's
but
possible
if you
to
want
add
the
garlic.
soap to smell very nice, what can
You
you
now
add?
go for what I do prescribe. There are natural incense, which we call the perfume, milk perfume. 100%, you know that thick type? It's sold mostly by the malams.
Oh.
If you go, you say, you know, you just go and say, Banitirare me madara.
Oh.
Do you understand the milk perfume?
That's going to be hard for me.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
sell in the
milk
market.
perfume.
Just tell him to get you the milk, perfume.
It's
Okay, I
white.
see.
It's
white.
non-alcoholic.
I see.
So there are a lot of...
Oh, that's
there are-
natural.
Yes, there are a lot of... You have a lot of flavors and smells that you can get. There's the sandalwood, that's my favorite.
Yes.
You know, there's sandalwood, there's sandal rose.
But
the
is it
rose
readily available?
Available,
Excellently
yes.
available, but somehow a bit costly.
A bit
But
costly.
what is good in
Interesting.
it, they can give you a measurement. From 1,000 upwards, you can get that.
Okay.
So you now add that to your soap.
Okay.
So that will give it a nice flavor.
Okay.
So you
Ajay,
get the apple flavor.
how
there
rich
is-
can a
I'm
soap
telling
be?
you,
So
I'm
where do
see the
you
secret.
where
I'm
do you
thinking of going into soap
yeah
business now.
where do you say, okay, you can't go beyond this, because it seems there you
The
can add
ingredients,
a
will the
lot of
ingredients
things.
ever be too much? Or
Yes,
you can add
if
as
it's
much
too
as you
much.
I
can?
told you rich soap,
Right.
and I told you normal soap. All these ingredients can go well into a rich soap. And that's going to go from 1,000 upwards.
Exactly,
Okay.
depending
But
on
you
your
want
pocket.
to go down to 500 naira to 200 naira, you reduce
reduce
the
the
number.
That's an
number.
essential soap.
Yes.
Rich,
Basically, there
goes
must be
with
the
your
base,
pocket.
there must be a simple moisturizer,
Yeah.
then you take any of those, either you add, of course you must add ginger, it's not very expensive, but the camwood or the turmeric can be optional.
You know what? I'm thinking of the
And
ladies
then the honey, of course.
that are
Yeah.
watching the program and turning off
Yes.
the volume because they've heard soap.
I'm
But you
sorry,
know
I
what?
wish I came with a
let's
notepad
move a
on this
little bit
program
away
and
from
trust me.
soap. There might be some women watching
Yes.
conversations right now who are like, oh, she's a natural plants expert
Expert, yeah.
and things
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. What about my child who I'm battling colic with the child? Are there any, there's so many things in the pharmacy that they ask you
I
to give.
know.
Some work, some don't really. I experienced that with my twins. My son
Okay.
had colic for a long time. Is there
Okay.
anything natural
You
that
know-
could work for any mother out there that has
Great.
that challenge?
Great. This conversation is good, and especially for women. I want women to recognize that the first healer, natural healer, is a woman. Intuition, instinct. The
Yes.
moment you look at a child, you know that the
You know,
child
there's
is sick.
something wrong with it.
And in those days, our grandparents, you know, there's what we call the granny's remedies. I hope you know that.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
the
and
granny
it
remedies,
always
they know
works.
what to do.
Yeah.
They'll go behind the house, get the leaves, and use it for you,
Right.
including the colic. But for us to know, we need to go back to those times.
Right.
And now do it basically, let's have a small garden. Every woman
Yeah.
should try and have a small garden and grow some basic plants.
Like what?
You know, I have a book called Herbal First Aid Kit,
Okay.
a book for families. In that Herbal First Aid Kit, I have about 29 plants that can be used for remedies, including potatoes.
No
Do
kidding.
you know the skin of the potatoes
Yes.
is lightening?
Really?
You can
Yeah,
wash
I
the
have
skin
heard of
That's
that.
what the women in Maiduguri use, that they call dilka.
Oh, there you
Dilka is a
go.
mixture of rice. Some roast the rice and some roast the potato and mix them together. You can do that freshly for yourself. And the henna.
I've
You know
had
the
dilka
lily.
a couple of times, but I didn't
You
know
know what
it
exactly
entails.
it was.
Anyway, back to what she wants me to tell her about the child.
Yes.
When a child has colic, you know, what we think of is that battling with excess gas in the stomach.
Yes.
Simple. Of course, you give him enough water. You give him breast because the breast contains a lot of rich nutrients. There is this plant called basil.
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 Efiri,
Yes.
Nchao in Igbo,
Chow.
don't know that in Hausa.
You're
that the
really
same
the,
thing?
you're
Yes,
really the
No, no,
expert.
no, I've never
I
heard of
really
it.
have to get the
The traditional names.
to help the women.
Yes.
So most of the plants I tend to get the
Ah, I see.
So a quarter teaspoonful of that basil will reduce the colic. And then again, I've seen the leaves. Have you gone to buy dill? D-I-L-L, leaves.
Yes.
That is the dill that is used to get this gripe water.
Imagine that.
But is it readily available in our
Isn't
country?
this-
Yes.
that is, I wish you know what is available in your country.
Yeah, that's
I wish
another
I
thing.
do.
You will
So
appreciate God more.
That's another
And you
thing.
always thank God more. We have deals, you can grow them. Now that you know about deals, I've gone to search and I see deals with the, like when you go to the people that sell salad, all the celery and parsley,
Yes.
occasionally they have deals.
Yes, they
Yes.
do actually.
Coriander,
And it's grown
things
here.
like
If
that.
they know that women, as we are talking now,
Of
oh,
course. The
in
price
this
will
conversation,
increase,
we're going to
though.
go look for deal.
Deal.
What happens to the deal grower? He grows
He
more.
grows,
He grows
exactly.
more
And
and
other people
hikes
that
his
are not even
prices.
in
Yeah.
the business get empowered.
Okay, so but Zainab, you're talking about every woman having their her own garden.
Small.
If it's a small
Yes,
garden.
yes.
So I mean, if you were to pick the top 5 or 6 things that I should grow in my garden, what would that be and why?
Let me call them all bitter leaf.
Okay.
Venonia is good.
Okay.
Basil.
Okay.
Basil is good. You know, you see the basil around. Lemongrass.
I knew you were going to say lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
Lemongrass is
Yeah.
excellent.
Something deep inside of me
That's
told me we should say that.
So
Snake.
you can see we have the 3. And then there's what we call red acalyphy. I've seen a lot of it in this place.
Okay.
The reddish brownish flower. Have you seen it?
I
Brownish.
think I know it, yes.
It's a lot is outside there. I've seen them.
Could you
Yeah,
say the
indeed.
name again for the people that missed
Red
that?
acalyphy.
Okay.
Yes, red acalyphy.
Okay.
Brownish for skin infections, especially for children. You boil that and use it to bath the children. It's all over. So I will have that in my house because of the skin infection, especially to babies. So red acalyphy, and they can grow widely. It also beautifies the environment. You must go
I
to
see.
some houses, you see that brownish, coilish, and it also has the green species.
Okay.
So the brownish species, and it grows well in the gardens. Beautifies the garden and has extra meat. And of course, moringa, for goodness sake. I'll give you 5.
Aloe vera.
Okay.
You can grow aloe vera.
Yes, I love aloe
I
vera.
was going to
Yes.
ask you, I think it also depends on what you want, you know, for the top 5. Maybe if you have, or the situation that you find yourself,
Yourself
maybe you
in.
have kids,
Okay.
you're a single lady,
Yeah,
or
if
you're
you're
more
doing it
into
for the
health.
skin.
For someone like me, it will be, I prefer to eat healthily,
Okay.
right? So what would you advise for someone that wants to eat more of healthy stuff?
Okay.
What would you recommend? The top 5.
Okay. You know why I say the top 5? These are plants that are available all year round,
Okay.
irrespective of the season. And when God gives you something that is available all year round,
There has to
it's
be
very,
good
very
reason.
important
Yeah.
to the existence of man.
Yes.
Even the pawpaw, you know that.
Purple leaves.
The pawpaw leaves and the fruit.
Okay.
So that's why I will look at those 5. They have multi-diverse uses.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Right.
If you want to take healthy, is it the moringa? You're not going to take the moringa tea. When women, you know these women, they go crazy. You know, I see all these women, all this, all this. You get them to get crazy. I want to take green tea, green tea.
Green tea, it's a movement
Yes,
now.
you
No,
know,
yeah, I think
when
it's
I look
the
at
trend.
them,
It comes
yes,
as
green
a
tea,
trend.
even the men too. When you
Green
say, what
tea.
do you green tea? I had to do a research, you know, when I went to Japan, they have one of the best species of green tea.
Okay.
Lest I say this for the benefit of Nigerians. You know, when there was a study done on the best teas, Nigeria senensis is the common name of the tea you eat. I mean, the tea you drink. 3 were recognized as best species. China, Japan, Nigeria.
No kidding.
Wow.
It's grown in Taraba.
Wow.
You need to see it. It's very
So
natural.
that is
Wow.
a
and
good
it has
tea
good aroma.
grown in a highland place
Yes.
with great weather, excellent weather, and
Exactly.
medicinal value.
Exactly.
So when they say green tea, it's a marketing strategy. We analyze the green tea. Of course, it has a lot of nutrients.
Exactly.
We went to analyze one green tea in Nigeria. I'm going to tell you the name. Compared both. The Nigerian green tea even has more
Nutrients.
Nutrients.
than the...
And we spend so much
Do
going
you
to
know which
supermarkets to
Nigerian-
get.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
the mentality of
Tell
our
me
people.
the Nigerian green tea and I'm going to take you out for lunch.
I said Highland tea. Not that.
Tell me.
The Nigerian green tea.
Yes.
Oh, I need this lunch.
Yeah, I did it too. So just give me a tip so we
Very
can say it
Because I
at
know
the
it's
same
going to
time.
be very healthy.
Can you
too.
give us a clue of the state?
That tea is made from a plant. And that plant has the leaves and is greenish in color. It has a lot of nutrients, so many vitamins. Even the vitamin C is more than the one in orange.
Mint leaf?
The banana is great. The potassium in it is a lot. The calcium in it is a lot. Even you can take it fresh, you can take it dry. Wow. So I think we're wasting time. Can I give you then? Who's going to take me for lunch?
I will.
You will do that. Oh, my ladies. Moringa.
Wow.
That's the tea. That's the green tea.
Moringa
For
tea.
real.
So that's the ultimate green tea.
That's
Yes,
the
the
ultimate
ultimate
green
Imagine
tea.
that.
Very rich.
Wow.
Very rich
Especially
and
the species
medicinal.
we have in Nigeria.
And
If
very
you
affordable.
Very affordable.
affordable.
Very
Very,
green.
very affordable.
Because you don't need to dry it on the sun.
Wow.
dry
And
it
you
in
can
a
take
shade,
it in so many
you
forms.
can take it. It has a lot. It has been analyzed.
Yes.
The potassium in moringa is about 4 times the potassium in bananas.
No kidding.
Are you getting my? Are you getting?
Yeah.
So that means the moringa is suitable for somebody with high blood pressure.
Okay.
Yes.
When you have high blood pressure, you need to excrete sodium
Yes.
because of salt content.
True.
When you take moringa, blessed with potassium,
It helps you.
helps to excrete the sodium. So many nutrients. Calcium, about 7 times more than the calcium in milk.
But ma,
This
those
is analyzed. This is scientifically proven.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that. This is well documented.
Those moringas that comes in tablet forms, do they add like chemicals to make
Are
them
they just
to
as
make
good?
them
Yeah,
tablet
should we
solid,
just-
or are they as natural as the ones in powdered
Good.
form and in the leaves?
Yes, you know, affordability, acceptability, there is what we call the international politics, even in medicine.
And packaging.
And packaging. Right, exactly. So you can
Packaging.
do the tea. You see, like I said, you can take the moringa fresh.
Yes. Sir.
You just get some handful, boil and take the tea. Steam actually is the best method so that you get the steam and get the maximum value of
Value
the
of
medicinal
it,
plant.
yes.
And then you can eat the leaf, put it in your egusi soup.
Okay.
Then
Wow.
you
Yeah.
dry the moringa, get the dry powder nicely, you keep it in a container. You can spice the moringa as a spice. You add some ginger, some cloves. So when you are taking moringa, you now put in a soup. You put it like that, especially for people who need it as an additional nutritional supplement. Then
about
for further
recycling.
scientific proof, what we decided to do is to determine the concentrate of pure moringa powder that will go into the capsules and give the desired effect. We have 500 milligram capsules, so you can capsulate it.
Okay.
That's a good business.
It is.
Nutritional supplement.
It is.
And it has
You
the
can
same
do that.
value.
It has the same
Same
value
value.
because you have.
Okay,
you
we
have
can't
been
take
able
any more because I know Chinwe and Rakiba are
I
ready
have
to
a
fire
lot
out
on
some
my
more
mind.
questions.
Don't forget about the hair. I need to prick the hair.
About the hair, yeah.
You know, these days I think there's a serious to discourage women from using
Relaxers.
relaxers and some too much artificial
Yes.
additional hairs.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I used to say that. I said, when you add the too much artificial, I know it's beauty, but look at the beauty, look at the health aspect.
Yeah.
When you add the too much artificial hair, do you realize you have headache at times? You have to tie your hair. But when you give oxygen, the hair needs oxygen.
It needs the oxygen.
So even if you do it, don't keep it too long.
Okay.
You know, when we were growing up, I'm sure you all had this idea. I had this idea that when the relaxers came, I said, hey, great, I'm going to have the long hair like the white woman.
Of course.
I think that was our mission. That was
Yes.
our dream. Has it materialized?
No.
Not
You
quite.
have spent
It's
so
chopping
much
off.
money.
It's chopping off
You have
actually.
spent
It
so
is.
much
It's
money in
chopping
buying
off.
relaxers. And don't forget this relax. Most of
It
them are
damage-
chemicals.
Yes,
Mm,
it
it's true.
damage
Affecting the hair, affecting the brain, affecting the root of the hair. At the end, no long hair, no British
But
hair,
for someone
no
like
white
me-
hair.
Okay, I got tired of all that and I said,
The ladies are still in the conversation room talking with Zainab, a pharmacist and natural plant expert. And Zainab, you were just about to tell us how to take care of our hair.
Yeah, just like, you know, they say the beauty of, the beauty of the woman lies in the hair.
Yeah.
That's why we go all these pains to buy the human hair. I don't know which woman.
the
Can you help
Indian
me?
hair.
What is the human hair? It's time for me to throw a
Well, I
question.
know
Can you tell me
usually.
about
I
the
think
human hair?
she
No,
will
I don't
be in
think-
a better position
You
because
still
I
don't
know
human
her
hair.
hair.
So you're focusing on me, right? Because I'm the one that has a bit of it on.
So,
Actually,
yes.
I personally, I have an issue with my hair. We're talking about relaxers and the chemicals and everything. I don't think I can leave my hair to grow naturally because it's very hard. Even sometimes when I relax my hair, when I go back home, my sisters will be like, where are you from? Are you from the salon? Why is your hair still looking very strong. I've done shea butter, I've done coconut oil, still as strong as ever.
Is it strong in the sense that you need more oil to make it soft? Definitely, no matter how strong the hair is, once you have an oil, it's going to make it soft for you to be able to comb it.
Yes.
That's one aspect.
Okay.
And then I know that even in those days, there is what they call, is it using the hot comb?
Yes,
Just
I
to
remember.
make it a bit softer.
Okay.
If it's so tough, you just
It
use
is
the hot
very
comb.
tough.
And then you make it but you must keep on moisturizing it.
Okay.
Moisturizing is the watchword. And then
going to
getting
ask.
the right mixture.
Exactly.
For you now, I would love coconut.
Okay. Coconut
And for
oil.
steaming your hair, even if you have natural hair, at times you steam. Cold steaming. It is this is the season of avocado pear. You know
Yes,
that?
it is.
And
Avocado.
it's excellent nourisher for the skin and for the hair.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
So you can get this
The
avocado.
avocado itself?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Try to boil it for some time.
Boil.
In a low heat.
Okay.
Remove it, and then put it on the fire. Let it boil for some time. You know what happens? The liquid evaporates. Then you begin to see some oil.
Oil, I
And
see.
you can leave it
So
there.
that's how they get the avocado oil.
Oil.
Yes.
okay.
So you can be able to
So you
use
do it
that
with the
scum.
skin?
Yes. No, you remove the skin.
Okay.
It's the pulp that you're
Okay.
going to use.
Okay.
And even the seed, keep it
The
aside.
peat, right?
Okay.
The seed is good.
The big
I
one.
understand,
Yes, the seed is
it's
good. It's a relaxant and is suitable in the management of people with high blood pressure. It's calming.
heard it's
The seed
Interesting.
is excellent. Whatever
how
I
does it
say is based on proof, and I say it with all sense of confidence and
Awesome.
Of course.
Yeah, this combination that you just talked about, does it
Yes.
work for relaxed hair as well? Because there are some people that are watching conversations that are
Yes,
like
they-
me. I
yes.
gave it a go. I actually
Yes.
tried the natural hair thing, but I
can't
lasted
even
only
do
4
natural.
months. After a while,
hair
after
is
I
actually
tried and the comb
natural
broke,
now.
I just went to the side. I said, you know what,
Okay.
just source me out. So, I mean, are there any natural things
Yes,
that we
that
can put
kind.
in
You know, I always
relaxed hair?
imagine when you put on the wig or the
Human hair.
human hair,
The Brazilian hair.
what happens? What reaction is going on?
Okay.
Can you imagine the reaction going on? A foreigner plus so no, a foreign product, a foreign substance, and a substance that is there. There will be some disagreement slightly.
Okay.
And
So
then
what
the
that-
air
Yes,
intake.
that is why you can do
Oxygen.
these natural remedies. I said the avocado pear. You have it, mix with yogurt
Okay.
and a tablespoonful of vinegar.
Okay.
Are you
Vinegar.
getting me? If you don't have vinegar, a teaspoonful of coffee. Mix that. You add the coconut oil. Then apply it deeply on the roots
Okay.
and leave it for 30 to 1 hour. You wash. By so doing, you are nourishing the hair. You are asking it just to manage the foreigner on it. And you are making yourself feel better.
So what does coffee do to the hair?
Darkens.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, really?
There are a lot of darkness, natural darkness that you can use.
I've heard of lalle.
Yeah, henna is excellent.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Coffee is one of it.
okay.
Coffee is good. Then the vinegar.
It darkens too.
Yeah, apple, but preferable the apple cider,
Cider
vinegar.
vinegar.
Oh, okay.
So you can make that. And even when you want to, after the use of the chemicals to wash, the final wash, the final rinse, you can take a liter of water and add 2 to 3 tablespoonfuls of apple cider vinegar or 2 tablespoonfuls of coffee
Okay.
to give the final push and the final reach.
I've seen people on social media attempt to make apple cider vinegar on their own. Doesn't it take like 2 months to ferment and?
It's not as easy as you think.
Yeah, yeah, I've
So
seen
I'd rather
it.
go, they're
I'd rather just
affordable,
buy
they're the
it
ones in the
off
market.
the- yes,
So
I'd
we
rather
can't
just
do
buy it.
everything.
We can't do
We
everything.
do everything, then
we
what
can't.
happens to the market?
But
That's why I
who
said-
brings it to the market? Someone has to
Someone
do it.
has
Yes,
to
somebody
do it.
has to do
Yes.
it. Who can do it is these things when you look at, you can do it at home. If God had destiny, you're going to take it to the market. When time comes, you'll take it to the market.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Zainab, could you
Yes.
talk to us a little bit about disease management? Because I know that's another key focus of what it is that you do.
You know, I like to quote a great food scientist. He said, when you eat well, you may not always need a doctor. But when you don't eat well, the doctor will not cure you. Hence, the importance of good nutrition.
Right.
And when we talk of nutrition, the good foods that we have, and what comes to my mind, the modern generation, we have forgotten our traditional foods.
It's very true.
I'm glad that we are now going back to nature.
We are,
Yeah.
yes.
We are
We're
now
getting there.
appreciating our foods.
Yes.
A typical example is, like I told you, the zogale in the north is eaten as a salad,
Yes.
but it's the food for the poor.
Then.
So you know that God has
The rich
blessed
also
us
cry.
Exactly.
that can be affordable and accessible for all class.
Okay.
I have been an advocate of traditional foods. We buy in processed foods. I'm glad with this social media. Don't you see? Have you seen where they show you how they make some foods that you buy?
Yes.
Scary,
And then
some
you
of the
get
things you
scary
see.
and
But
you
are they
don't feel
true?
it.
Like everything you see on social
I don't
media,
know,
is it
but
true?
you
Well,
Especially
not
when they
everything,
dye
but-
like bananas or
yes,
oranges.
but it's better you see
it's-
freshly what
fresh,
you are
yes.
buying and what you are preparing.
The fresher,
So
the better.
let's go back. For those of us who still have our mommies alive, if your mommy is alive, your granny is alive, go back to those old traditional way of cooking food for economic benefits. All we need to do for us now, the educated elites, or what we feel is, how do I maximize the value of the nutrient? I don't overcook, or I put this,
Yeah.
the vegetables, how do I put it, when do I put it?
Yes.
And I look at the geographical zones. We have our 6 geographical zones. The other time here, I tried to have a program on different dishes from the geographical zones, considering their importance. I looked at the, let me just say what I liked in the southeast. Have you, let me come
I
back
think
to
I remember watching
African
that.
salad.
Ugu.
African salad.
African
Okay.
salad.
So tell us, what is the African
I was
salad?
just about to say
It's
Yes.
called uba.
Okay.
It's it's the, how do I explain it now?
Just
You
say
see,
it anyhow.
You need to know your traditional food.
I've watched
I know there is
them.
the cassava. You boil the cassava. The cassava that
No,
the
cassava is
African
different.
salad. I'm talking about your African salad. You add the cassava. You cook the cassava, which you slice,
Okay.
and then you put the uba, the
Over it.
beans,
Okay, I think that's
something big.
abacha. The one
That's
you're
the
talking
abacha.
about is abacha.
Yeah, that's the African salad
African
now. I call
salad.
it the
Oh.
African salad.
Okay.
The Igbo salad. Okay, the Igbo salad.
You do it with dry fish.
Yes. With the stock
Oh,
fish.
that's
Yeah, dry
abacha
fish.
then.
So
the
let's
one that
have
you
it. But
dry.
it's traditionally the Igbos.
Yes,
that use
it
that.
is. It
Do
is.
you know the
dry
rich
it up.
nutrition? Do you know the rich content of that salad?
Please tell me, since
If you
know
know
more
it,
about it.
You
I
take it
said
every
If
day.
you know it, the Igbo man will eat it every day. But that may be a topic for another day, to analyze the content of the abacha. The cassava will provide fiber.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Then the bean they put, the uba,
Yes.
is a lot of protein with nice oil in it. Do you understand?
Healthy oil.
And then the palm oil and the potash. Do you know what happens to the palm oil? When you add the potash, it has removed the excess cholesterol. That is why you see it looking thick and somehow foamy. Do you understand? And then you slice the bit. You see, the Igbo lady should tell us. I'm coming to you to tell us.
In fact, something just came to my mind right now.
So when they add, you know, there is the bitter garden, angara.
Angara.
Great. The leaves.
Oh,
It's-
yes. Yes.
Don't
I've
you
heard-
add it to?
Yes.
You
Yes.
can see that she doesn't eat it. Women.
I just see the pictures.
Yes.
I've never tried it.
No, I do
But-
eat it. I do. It's just that I don't
Yes.
know how
Yes.
beneficial
Do you know
It
when you
is.
slice the leaves? It's slightly bitter.
Yes.
Detoxifies the liver and the kidney.
Yes.
And then crown it all, the stockfish.
Yeah.
Some people even go as to add pomo.
For more.
For the poor masses. They use the pomo. But that is a rich nutrient that God has blessed
So
us
how
with.
come people go around saying palm oil, for instance, is not healthy?
You see, I like when people talk, let them have scientific evidences to
Backing.
prove
Right.
all
Yeah.
this. We have now realized that palm oil is one of the best oil in the world.
Okay.
An antioxidant. Have you seen any oil that is as colorful and naturally colorful as oil?
But what of the cholesterol?
The cholesterol content is not as high as we used to think.
Okay.
I do not want to tell you about international marketing, where
Right.
they will tell you your own is not,
Not good. So
because
that
you want
others
to buy
can
their
sell.
own.
That's interesting.
So
Yeah.
analysis, modern analysis, our Nigerian scientists have been able to analyze the palm oil. It's an excellent oil.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Okay,
And
so
a
now
lot of vitamin E in there.
I have you talked about the bean sprout and it being rich in protein, and something came
Yes.
to mind. my family, for instance, we're big on eating a lot of meat. So is it healthy to have 5 pieces of meat with your meal, 6 pieces of meat with your meal? You know, sometimes you go to the restaurants, the bukas, and they have, you know, they have it there. So just select the one you want and have it. So, is it healthy to have a lot of meat or protein with your meal?
You know, I look at issues holistically, from the angle of health, from the angle of availability, from the angle of business, and from the angle of what God has given. And then when you commit one sin, how do you antidote the sin, the sin that you have committed? Right. You see, when you go, I know, to some places where you go to eat, is it the buka? Mama. You see all those shaki, abodi, they are tasty, you eat them. But what I always say is that if you do a lot of stress, if you do a lot of work, you don't have the sedentary lifestyle. You go out, you spend a lot of energy, the body will heal itself. The body will detoxify itself. Okay. In that case, the waste you get from those things you have eaten may be supported naturally to go out. But whereby you don't do those things, they are stuck. The good ones go. They go into the system, they are needed. The bad ones to stay. Then how do you get away the bad ones? You then look for alternatives, detoxifiers. That's where we come into herbal remedies. The kitchen spice, you have ginger at home, take a ginger tea, add some cloves. Do you understand? Add some basil leaves or add some peppermint leaves, which you can grow in your garden. This helps to detoxify. Okay. Or chew the bitter leaf. 2 to 3 leaves of bitter leaf, if you can chew, immediately follow it with water. Or take the bitter cola. This are marketable. I don't understand, but let's do some gossips. I'll tell the men out there, the darker the skin, the better.
The healthier.
I think so.
And the healthier. You age gracefully.
Like they say, black
when
black
you look
skin
at a
never
white
cracks.
person, when by the time she's 50, you compare it with a dark person, there is a slight difference. So what am I saying? My saying is that whatever skin God has given to you, I know you may do a lot of pet-ups. There are even natural bleaching in things. Like I said, if you want to light it. But it's safe, slowly, you need to do that. I give you examples, the lemon, the yogurt, all this rice. The potato. They bleach in the right way. You mix them. If you mix rice and vinegar, then use it on the scrub, on your skin, you get some lightening effect. But all those concentrates, the chemicals, the hydroquinone of this world, they tend to be very aggressive on the skin. So you find that most of our women have bleached. So what happens to them? First, let them ask God to forgive them for bleaching their skin. That means you didn't appreciate what God has given you.
It's the society, actually.
Yes, come back to the reality. There's the beauty, but at the end, what justifies the means? I don't understand. So you now come back, what is the reality? I want to maintain my skin. Then you look at natural products or some products that can help you safely. And where you have some kind of problems, maybe you have burns on your face, again, let's give them some simple tips, some remedies they can use. You know aloe vera?
Yes.
When I was in school, in secondary school, St. Louis, anytime anybody has a burns on the skin, I see the sisters, they go to get the aloe vera and then open up the aloe vera. You know, the mucus-like...
The jelly type.
The jelly type.
The gel.
It's an excellent for the burns, for the skin burn. So that means there is a remedy for you. And you can mix it with olive oil. Apply it on the burns area. And then when in the morning, you can now put the aloe vera with the olive oil and then with the soap. You can put your olive soap and the turmeric powder. Get a kind of facial scrub or soap. Apply it and leave it on for 10 minutes to help to facilitate. These are some remedies that we can do. There are so many. And I want to talk about yogurt and milk. I mean yogurt and honey. A mixture of yogurt which is available.
Which of the yogurt?
Yes, I was going to ask.
Because we have sweetened yogurt, the flavored yogurt.
I prefer the unsweetened yogurt.
The Greek yogurt.
Or I will go to the woman in the market to get her yogurt. So all you need
is it the same with the nono that the
no, the nono, it's no more yogurt. But I prefer the yogurt. You know, yogurt and there is milk. Although you can use the yogurt or you can use the milk. They're all very good. Then in that yogurt or milk, you can add your honey. Then a teaspoonful of lemon, and then if you have some slight turmeric powder, you add. You can keep it in the fridge so that you can always use it. Not only to, for the people that have burns, and I told you with olive oil, or there's a black seed oil there that is very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you add it, and then you apply it on the face, leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes. You must be patient gradually.
That's what I wanted to say.
Patience and consistency.
And natural remedies, it takes time.
Yes.
You
But
don't
once
and you
it
need to be
catches on you,
consistent.
it stays on.
Yes.
I'm concerned
True.
about the kind of information that we find online too. How do I pick the right kind of information? You're the expert, but you know, we are not. And most times we just type in
especially
into a search
when they want
engine.
to advertise their
Yes,
product.
you know, and so sometimes we don't really get the right information that
Busy. Good morning, darling. Then you give me a glass of lemon. I mean, a warm glass of water
you
with a
just drop it
lemon,
down.
and the just to sip it down.
sip it.
It's very good for the
Okay,
liver.
we don't have that much time, but there are
Yes,
two things,
next time we'll talk more
Zainab,
about
that I would like you to focus on.
Yes.
There are two diseases or conditions that affect a lot of people all over Nigeria. That's heart disease and diabetes.
Yeah, very
so
prevalent.
anyone who might be having that condition right now and that is watching us here on Conversations might want to have 1 or 2 tips from you on how to
Great.
manage it. Could you
Nice.
help
See,
us?
I want to talk strictly from my knowledge point of view.
Okay.
For diseases of the heart and diabetes, I observe that people tend to believe strictly orthodox. It doesn't go that way.
Okay.
It has a more conventional approach. That is why we are advocating and promoting the traditional and alternative medicine,
True.
because each of these healthcare systems has a role to play. Why am I saying that? 40% of the orthodox drugs that we use today are from plant origin, but they are synthesized
Yes.
to get the chemicals.
Yes.
So, every drug, no matter how it is, classify it as chemical, classify it as poison. The usage of it, you look at the beneficial aspect and this thing. So I know that a lot of people who are diabetic are on drugs, and those drugs, they are going to be on it for as long as they live.
Exactly.
What I always say is that as long as you take these drugs, look at other supportive therapies. One, excellently, the first medicine is food. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, says, let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food.
Okay.
Right.
You make food medicine, like we have said, you wash your bitter leaf, you put it in the soup, it is food. You wash the bitter leaf, get some juice of it, dilute it with water, and you drink, is medicine. Food and medicine,
Ginger.
and natural.
Okay.
So also with all those. So for those people who have those kind of elements, they must need diet, excellent diet in terms of food. If you are diabetic, there are a lot of foods out there. We have the plantain, we have the acha, we have the dawa,